I think the saturated fats are starting to impede the blood flow to his penis, and he's having a hard time, getting it up. He does, totally. I mean, it's still good, but it's like definitely a big difference. There's definitely a difference.
In all seriousness, did I not talk about this earlier? This is real. Woo! Hello, my honeys, it's Emmie. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Emmie. I'm a nutritionist and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. If you want to work with me, as well as a mindset coach and a nutrition coach to lose weight on a plant-based diet, click the link in the down bar.
Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. I like food, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. You like food, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut.
Ain't that the truth? Not only do they look after you, they keep you addicted to their food. And I don't use that term lightly because studies show that some of the ingredients in these processed foods are similar to the effects that one feels when taking cocaine and doing other opioid-like drugs. This is no joke. Companies spend millions of dollars every year to make sure that their food is top-notch addictive. There's all these studies done on Doritos to make sure that no one flavor of the Dorito overpowers another so that you never feel like you've had enough. That's why you can just eat and eat and eat and eat Doritos and you never feel satisfied. They are designed to be that way. These companies spend millions of dollars with scientists and chemists to make sure that you stay addicted to their food so that they can make a lot of money. And I mean a lot of money. Doritos is a $1.5 billion company, and that's not by accident. It's because they have tested and tested and tested again to make sure that there are flavors that we become addicted to. And that's just the food industry. This doesn't even mention the medical industry, which unfortunately profits off of people that are, as the documentary says, fat, sick, and nearly dead. There's no money in healthy people, and there's no money in dead people. And the medical industry makes its money off of people that are just between the two, people that are sick and on death's door. So sadly, these two industries, the food industry and the medical industry, they're businesses, and they make a lot of money off of people that are addicted and sick because of processed foods.
America has now become the fattest nation in the world. Congratulations. Nearly 100 million Americans are today either overweight or obese. That's more than 60% of all U.S. adults.
Unfortunately, this figure has gotten worse. 71% of Americans are overweight. What I want us to recognize, though, is that if we have excess fat on our bodies, that is not a reflection of who we are, and it doesn't define us. And I don't like to say fat people. Instead, we say people who have excess body fat. You are not fat, you are you. I always say, I'm not fat, I am Emmie. I am not skinny, I am Emmie. Our bodies are just the shells that we experience life in. And if yours has some excess fat on it right now that is harmful to your health, then let's take care of that so that you can live life to the fullest. So I don't think we need to shame anybody. If anything, what this documentary is looking to show us is that we didn't ask for this. This is not our fault. It's that we are the product of a food environment and a medical industry that isn't setting us up for success. So let's band together and let's beat this thing. All right, let's keep watching. I'm liking the documentary SuperSize Me. Don't tell anybody. I'm just gonna say it on the internet, but don't tell anybody.
In the United States alone, McDonald's accounts for 43% of the total fast food market. They're everywhere. Walmarts, airports, rest stops, gas stations, train stations, shopping malls, department stores, amusement parks, even hospitals. That's right, hospitals. At least you're close when the coronary kicks in. Lawyers for McDonald's.
What did I say? These guys are in cahoots, which that's actually not too far off. There's so many conflicts of interest when it comes to even the US dietary guidelines. Did you know that the Mars bar and the M&M advisory board, these people are on the committees for the US dietary guidelines? And listen, I am no anarchist by any means. I'm not here to say that there's this huge conspiracy and the government is corrupt. What I'm saying is that we have to be the advocates for our health. We have to take this into our personal hands. Nobody's gonna look out for you as much as you need to look out for yourself. So even trusting the US dietary guidelines, It's funded by M&Ms. How can we trust that? Sheesh. But back to the whole McDonald's and hospitals thing. This just goes to show that hospitals profit off of sick people. So if they leave after having their heart attack and have some McDonald's on the way out, they're going to be a repeat customer. Yes, customer, not patient of that hospital.
Are the food companies solely to blame for this epidemic? Where does personal responsibility stop and corporate responsibility begin? Is fast food really that bad for you?
I mean, what would happen if I ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days straight? Would I suddenly be on the fast track to becoming an obese American? Would it be unreasonably dangerous? Let's find out. I'm ready. SuperSize Me.
I expect to see an increase in your triglycerides because that can be affected. You're at 87 now, and I think that will change. And I think that's the only thing that will change.
Out of everything?
Out of everything. I mean, you know, there might be some minor variations, but the body is extremely adaptable.
Okay, that is extremely true, what he said there, that first part. Triglycerides will just go up a little bit. But he was spitting some truth that the human body is extremely adaptable. And the good news is that if you are watching this and you're like, oh my Lanta, I'm eating fast food up the wazoo, that's okay. I mean, the eating fast food thing we have to change, but you are not broken. You are not ruined. I have so many clients that come to me and think that their metabolism is broken from all the dieting that they've done, or they're too far beyond repair. But they're on the phone with me, which means they're determined to get this thing fixed and get this sorted. And we have tremendous success together. The human body wants to be healthy. When we look at all of these other animals in nature, they are not fat, they are not sick, they are not overweight, they are not struggling with all these health ailments. They're healthy. We're animals. We were designed to be healthy. And the body is going to try to keep us alive and try to keep us healthy. It's just that the diet that we've been eating is not the diet that was intended for us animals as humans. We were not supposed to be eating this way. So let's change the diet so that our bodies can get back to where they need to be in the healthiest state. Spin truth from this doctor that the human body is extremely adaptable. You can turn this thing around.
Gaining weight, you probably will. As far as your cholesterol going up, it probably will. As far as you feeling miserable, maybe. I don't know. Unless you start cheating and just order the salads.
Okay, let's talk about that. Are the salads at McDonald's healthy? No. Salads are... They're a wolf in sheep's clothing. You hear, oh, I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to order the salads. Salads, though, they are so high in fat because of the dressing that is put on them. These dressings are loaded with fat and calories and sugar. And not that sugar in and of itself is bad for you, but that's another story to talk about later on. But the thing about salads is that they don't give you any satiety. You have a bunch of vegetables and then you throw on things like bacon bits and eggs and all of these high calorie toppings, then you throw dressing on top of it, and you're lacking any complex carbohydrates. You're lacking any starch, which is going to give you satiety. So you have a salad that's really high in fat, but there's no starch there to make you feel nice and full. And the outcome from that is that you eat a salad, you're hungry an hour later, but the salad was high in calories and it was high in fat. So you really don't get any bang for your buck for it. And you're miserable because you're eating a salad, when really you could eat potatoes and lose weight. Yes, I have videos all about it. Here they are. Potatoes are the best weight loss food. You heard it here first. Hey, if you are enjoying this video, please hit the like button. It really supports my channel, and make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Join the Healthy Honeys.
This is the first day, and I'm on my way to breakfast. Could I get an Egg McMuffin extra value meal? Every 8-year-old's dream right now that I'm getting ready to fulfill.
Not too far off. My diet used to be garbage. So if you're watching, you're like, that sounds kind of good. I would love to eat fast food every day. Listen, 8-year-olds me would have loved that too. And I'm not saying that you're 8 years old, but I understand the allure of this. I used to eat trash. The only thing that I would eat was strawberry frosted donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. Could you blame me? You couldn't pay me to eat a vegetable. I just wouldn't do it. So if I can turn into a lean, mean potato eating machine, you can too. Trust me. I did not grow up loving this food, but here I am now. Thank you. Please, guys. Please. It's It's nothing.
There are rules to what's going on here in this whole process. I will only supersize it if they ask me, and I can only eat things that are for sale over the counter at McDonald's. Water included. If McDonald's doesn't sell it, I can't eat it. I have to have everything on the menu at least once over the next 30 days, and I have to have 3 squares a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No excuses.
Okay, I find this interesting that he is forcing himself to have 3 meals a day, no excuses. Most people force themselves to eat because it's time to eat, not because they're actually hungry. So I would reckon that if he just went based off his hunger fullness cues, this wouldn't go horribly because he'd be so run down from this food and he'd be like, I don't want to have dinner, but he's forcing himself to eat dinner. So think back to this with yourself. Do you find that you're just watching the clock? That is a recipe for disaster. We don't see all these other animals out in nature looking at their clock and saying, okay, it's time for me to eat. So, eat when your body tells you that it's hungry, not because it's time to eat.
Another man who is worried about the kids is Samuel Hirsch. He represents the 2 girls who are suing McDonald's with much.
How is this okay? Oh, did you hear about these 2 girls, these poor women? They became so sick and overweight from having McDonald's, and so they were brave and they sued, and now there's a lawsuit.
I have an idea. Let's McFatties bite back. How about that?
What is wrong with people? Seriously though, back to what I was saying earlier. I say this to my clients that struggle with food. You did not ask for this. These companies doctor these foods to be addictive so that you become addicted to them. How old were you when you first ate these foods? 3, 4, 5. You weren't an adult. You couldn't decide whether or not you wanted to eat these foods. They were given to you, you ate them, and you became addicted. So this is not your fault. But what is your responsibility is how you deal with this now that this has happened. Now that you are struggling with your weight, now that you are addicted to these foods, now this is your responsibility. And I'm sorry that it did end up this way, but we got this. We can take care of it.
Hello, may I help you?
Yeah, could I get the double quarter pounder with cheese meal?
Large or supersize?
I think I'm gonna have to go supersize. Look at that. Look at that Coke. That barely fits in there. Oh shit. I'm gonna, look at that. Look at how big that thing is. Look how big that French fry is.
Notice how happy he is. He is like giddy. He is so excited about this. What I often find is that we're more so addicted to behaviors than we are substances. So for a lot of the people that I work with, when they describe to me what it's like when they go to the drive-thru, when they have a binge, they say it's so exciting. I go to the drive-thru and they hand me the bag and the bag is all warm and I smell the food and I go and I park and I sit and I unbuckle my seatbelt and it's silent and I dive into the food. It's the whole experience that people are addicted to, and it's the rush. You can see him having a dopamine hit right now. These are the same exact feelings that we get when we fall in love. This is the euphoria that people feel when they have sex. This is that feel-good feeling that we get from these substances. This is addiction. This is when we become so excited about something. And I promise you there is going to be a come down. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And for just as excited as he is right now, I promise you he's going to be feeling just as bad afterward. And this is where I tell my clients, play the tape all the way through. Right now, this is where you play the tape to. This is always what happens. When people are craving junk food, they play the tape to right here. They play the tape to the point where the food is there and it's fresh. But let's play the tape into the point of what happens after. How do you feel afterward? And let's literally play that tape.
Oh. Just give me a minute.
I'm in pure McDonald's heaven.
This is gonna be you, like, after every meal.
Oh. I'm dying.
Oh, God, that's so nasty. Oh, it's making me puke.
Yeah, so I don't want to say I called it. No, but in all seriousness, if this is not addiction, then I don't know what is. I mean, even the parking lot aspect of it too. This is what it looks like. It's the high and then it's the come down, and the come down is way, way worse, and you end up worse than where you started. So usually, you're feeling like this, you get the high from the foods, and then the after, you are feeling low.
I'm getting this really weird feeling right in my midsection, like basically in my penis right now. It's just like this. It's really freaky.
Okay, let's talk about the penis. Well, let's talk about blood flow. So as we know, blood flow is essential for the functioning of a man's penis. If they want to be able to have sexual intercourse and their blood flow is not where it needs to be, then that's not going to be able to happen. Erectile dysfunction is one of the first signs that somebody has cardiac risk in having a heart attack. If a man is not able to get it up, I cannot believe I'm talking about this on my channel. If a man is not able to have blood flow to all parts of his body, let's say that, then that shows that blood flow is impaired not just to there, but it's impaired here too. This is a huge, huge red flag. So for all the women out there and all the men out there where we're having some trouble getting the blood flowing, please, I urge you, get the 1-day meal plan in my down bar, and let's get you started on a plant-based diet to get that blood pumping.
And this weight gain has been linked to countless health problems later in life, such as hypertension, coronary heart disease, stroke, gallbladder disease, osteoarthritis, sleep apnea, respiratory problems, endometrial, breast, prostate, and colon cancers, dyslipidemia, steatohepatitis, insulin resistance, asthma, hyperuricemia, reproductive hormone abnormalities, polycystic ovarian syndrome, impaired fertility, and adult-onset diabetes.
Yeah, that is all true, sadly. But the upside to it is that you can prevent and reverse these things with your diet. I mean, type 2 diabetes, for example, can be prevented and reversed on a plant-based diet. If you don't believe me, buy Dr. Neil Barnard's book, Reversing Type 2 Diabetes. It looks like this. Get it on Amazon. I also, if you're wondering if you have type 2 diabetes or you know somebody with type 2 diabetes, I have a video where I talk about why a plant-based diet is the best for reversing and helping diabetes. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are what you need. Watch the video.
Oh, we finna go hit up McDonald's in a little while. At least 3 times today. Because we ain't had no meal yet today. So we just pointed towards McDonald's.
I get the number 2, the cheeseburger.
Tell me that this guy does not sound exactly like the guy from Step Brothers.
They are what's called a trophy fish. So, yeah, they're pretty big.
What they need to do is hit like 25 minutes on that treadmill, work out a little something, do some push-ups. See, if you do some push-ups and you eat, you'll keep your weight down. See, I keep my weight down and stuff. I hit them push-ups and everything. Keep myself cool.
Okay, first off, I love these kids. Second off, while I do love them, the advice is not sound. We cannot outrun a bad diet. If your nutrition is not in check, exercise is not going to take care of it. Exercise only accounts for like 5 to 10% of the calories that we burn in a day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Only 5 to 10% of the calories that we burn in a day is due to exercise. So sadly, you can't outrun your fork.
How can I help you?
Can I get the double quarter pounder with cheese value meal?
Okay, thank you. 486.
I don't feel good today. Not that I feel sick, but I just feel really depressed. You know, for no reason. I mean, things are going great. We've had a good day. I just feel really, It's not real hard eating this food all the time. Just because, it tastes good. It makes you feel good. I really noticed I'll eat some, and just a little while later, I'll be hungry again. And I'll want more. More. So I'm pretty bored with their menu.
This is addiction. When it comes to addiction, you don't start to feel the high anymore. You start to need the food and become dependent on it. And so what's happening now is he needs the food to feel okay. And then when he doesn't have the food, there's the withdrawal and he feels depressed. Additionally, serotonin, which is a mood stabilizing hormone, if individuals are suffering from depression, their serotonin levels are off. Serotonin is created, 95% of it, in the gut. And I mean, clearly his gut is all out of whack from this diet. So it's not surprising to hear that he is struggling with depression.
Who in here can tell me what a calorie is?
It's the amount of, see, I don't know. I want to say it's the amount of calories in a calorie. I don't know.
I never pay no mind what calories are. I just eat when I'm hungry and that's it. So if you can tell me what a calorie is, go ahead.
Calories. This might be some of the most sound nutrition advice I've ever heard. And I'm not kidding. We don't have to know the ins and outs of nutrition. We don't have to be scientists or chemists or biologists or anything to understand how to be healthy. We need to eat the diet that was intended for humans, which is a plant-based diet, and to eat when we're hungry and stop when we've had enough. We don't have to count calories. We don't have to intermittent fast. We don't have to do all these crazy workouts. All we have to do is eat when our body tells us that we're hungry, and then once we're not hungry anymore, put the food away.
To watch him go through this, I gotta tell you, I worry about his health. He's exhausted by the end of the day, just so tired, gets home really late from work, and you know, he gets all jacked up on sugar and caffeine, and then he crashes. And then when we do have sex, I gotta tell you, he's not quite as energetic as he used to be. I have to be on top. Otherwise, he gets tired easily. I think the saturated fats are starting to impede the blood flow to his penis, and he's having a hard time, getting it up. He does, totally. I mean, it's still good, but it's like definitely a big difference. There's definitely a difference. I can tell.
It's not me. Okay, but in all seriousness, did I not talk about this earlier? This is real. This is legit. You can't have blood flow to one place and not have it be impeded in other places. This is a reflection of the fact that his arteries are hardening because of all the saturated fat clogging up the arteries that blood cannot flow through it. She is smart.
I was feeling bad in the car, feeling like shit, really. I was feeling really, really sick and unhappy. Started eating, feel great, feel really good now. I feel so good, it's crazy. Isn't that right, baby?
Yeah, you're crazy, all right.
Spoken like a true addict. This is what happens. You start to get withdrawals. When people are addicted to substances like heroin, for example, and they don't get their fix, they get sweats, they vomit, they shake, they get extremely ill. And that's exactly what's happening here. When he's low on the drug, which is these processed foods, you start to feel sick. And then finally you get the drug. Okay, I feel better now.
You saw these numbers, right? These numbers are absolutely outrageous. Okay, for the first time, we're seeing uric acid elevated. So you're giving yourself hyperuricemia. And the danger of hyperuricemia is gout, kidney stones. The results for your liver are obscene beyond anything I would have thought.
Yeah.
Truly. That movie, Death in Las Vegas, Nicolas Cage, that pickled his liver during the course of a few weeks in Las Vegas, right? I would never have thought that you could do the same thing with a high-fat diet.
Yeah.
My advice to you as a physician is that you've got to stop. You're pickling your liver. Yeah. You're kicking it while it's down now. Now it's down, and you're kicking it further. If you're an alcoholic, I'd say I'd say you're going to die. You keep drinking, you'll die.
I like that guy. Also, did you notice what he has in his office? This is the advertisement where doctors used to promote the types of cigarettes that they liked best. They used to promote Camels. So remember I was talking about earlier how it's not so, the whole conspiracy, and I'm not saying there is a conspiracy. I'm just saying that there's a lot of conflicts of interests And there's a lot that's not known. You know, doctors used to promote the types of cigarettes that were best. And still doctors promote milk, which we're not supposed to be drinking milk. Most humans are lactose intolerant. In fact, in most East Asian countries, almost 100% of individuals from East Asian descent are lactose intolerant. But anyway.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
210
I'm going to
pounds.
say 210, right on the money. We went from 185.5 to 194. A week later to 203, then down to 202, and now 8 pounds during the last week for 210.
Wow, so he gained 25 pounds in less than a month, which is tremendous weight gain, extremely stressful on the body. Losing or gaining weight very quickly is horrible for the body. It's a huge stress. So God bless this guy. What do you want me to react to next? Leave a comment and I will do it. And if you want to work with me, click the link in the down bar and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah!